Today I have a lot of untamable hair and it's just going to have to stay like this. I started posting on YouTube on the 5th of October 2008, and then about a month and a bit later, middle of November, end of November, I was in school one day and it was a Monday morning, and the first class that I had, along with about half of my year, was PE, and the PE block was in a different block from the rest of the school. So we were all walking down, and about 3/4 of the way there, all of a sudden, I hear someone behind me shout, "Lindsay, are you a lesbian?" And I absolutely froze. I have never had panic go through my body like that in my entire life, because not even like the friends I was walking with at that point, like they didn't know, and my life just changed dramatically after that, in a very short period of time. So like I said, that was the Monday morning. That was at 9 a.m. and that day was horrific. It turns out what had happened was one of my friends had been at my other friend's house and knew about it, and she figured it would be fine to show him because, you know, he's not going to tell anyone. But no, he did. He told everyone. When I confronted him about it, he was like, "Oh, I'm the school gossip. Like, what do you expect? If you're going to put it on there, people are going to find out." And I completely understand, you know, putting myself on YouTube. I am putting myself out there, but I was not prepared for that, and I was not ready for that. I didn't think people would find out unless I told them. Especially not my school. Oh, it was absolutely horrific. Just a quick pointer about that. The guy that outed me to the whole school, never flaming homo. Always a flaming homo, but clearly just wanted to throw the possible speculation and attention off of him, that he decided to out me instead. After that, my life was just, I dreaded going to school, and I didn't go to school sometimes. I never went to my registration class from like 5 to 9 to 5 past 9. I never went because the people that were in my class, they always made jokes about it and they always brought it up, and the teacher never did anything. So I was always late for school every single day. A lot of days I skipped school. I found excuses, I've got the doctors, or I would just leave and hope that nobody found out. Hopefully nobody sent letters like to my parents. And I was 15 at this point, and it was just terrifying. I would go into classes, and even walking through corridors, people would like sort of push me around. Like I never really had there wasn't any physical violence towards me really. A couple of people like would bash into me or like push me against the wall, but no one like hit me or anything. But the verbal abuse, like I'd be walking through corridors, and first of all, everyone from 1st through to 6th year, so that's like 11 and 12-year-olds right up to the 18-year-olds knew. Everyone knew, and like it didn't go away soon. I thought, okay, this is going to be around maybe a week or something, and then people are going to it's going to die down, people will find something else to move on to. But for the next year and a half, 2 years, it was me. I was the talking point at school, because I was now, although I didn't come out on my own terms, I was the only out queer person in the entire school. So yeah, I was naturally the focus of everyone's attention. Often in classes, people just would ask me, "Oh, hey, like I heard you're on YouTube. What are your videos about?" Or, "Oh, last night I saw your YouTube videos." Like it wasn't anything. They weren't like, well, some people did shout, you know, "Dyke" at me, but these people weren't. But you know, they were saying it because they knew I would feel really intimidated by it, and I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. So I just shut up. I became, not that I'd ever been particularly like, "Oh hey, yeah, woo, loud," and like whatnot. I was very, very quiet, and I didn't talk to anyone. I just shut up so that I couldn't bring any more attention to myself. People would tell teachers, like often like people, you'd be in class and then it'd be the end of the class, so like some teacher would be like, "Oh, like do you want to play a game at the end, or like do you want to watch like a little clip on YouTube or something?" And people would be like, "Oh, you know Lindsay Clark, oh she has videos on YouTube, like watch them." And everyone got like the wrong idea about it, because obviously they didn't understand the queer community or what it was like to be queer, or really vlogging at that point. It wasn't something that many people like knew about. So everyone was like, "Oh yeah, she made a video on the internet to tell everyone that she's gay," which was clearly, that wasn't what it was about. I made videos to reach out to other queers and to talk about like my experiences and be like, "Hey, like how do I come out to my parents? I'm really scared. I don't know what to do." you know, things like that. But they would be like, oh, teachers, like, oh yeah, like she made all these videos to tell everyone she's a lesbian, and the teachers were like, what? So like teachers thought I was weird as well, and all the teachers, everyone knew what was going on, because all the students were talking about that is all they spoke about, but nobody ever came to me and said, hey, like, are you okay? Like, not like the head of the year or anything, and she knew about it because we kind of sort of spoke about it like a year or so later, but everyone knew what was happening, but nobody came to me, which was really tough, because that instead, like, the worst period of time in my entire life came from that, and I was so depressed, and I was self-harming, and like I just wanted to stop living, because I thought like this would die down, and it hadn't died. Like, it was every single day for over a year. Maybe a year later it started to die down a bit, but people didn't forget, and like I just wanted to die, because I didn't think that it would ever stop. I thought, this is going to go on forever. I've got like 3 years left of school, it's going to keep going. I'm going to leave school and I'm going to go somewhere else, and people are still going to know about it, and it's going to be really tough. So yeah, I was really depressed, and I was harming myself, and I was really lonely. I felt so isolated, and I was suicidal as well. I thought about killing myself so often, because I just couldn't handle it. Like, I never really enjoyed being the centre of attention, but I was the centre of attention every day, every minute of every day, and it was all negative attention as well. A lot of time people would shout things at me, or throw really big rocks at me whilst shouting at me. Just like such stupid, immature things, but I was so unequipped to deal with it. And like my friends, like my closest friends, to this day, they don't like know the extent of what happened, because obviously they weren't with me every second of every day, like in between classes and whatnot. And even the stuff that did happen, they don't remember. And that's what's the toughest thing about now, is that sometimes I'll talk about things and they think I'm like over exaggerating or whatever, and I'm like, no, that really happened, but you don't know because it didn't really affect you. So I felt really alone because my friends didn't understand, but it felt like it was like me, and then everyone else, like teachers included, and you know, staff and all the pupils and people that used to be my friends would be talking about me as well. It's one of the most horrible things, because you're like I said, I was only 15, and just to be thrust into the centre of attention was so horrible. Like I said, people would push me around a little bit. I never got like physically hurt or anything, but people would just be really wide, like in the corridors, and be like, just like bash into me and pretend like they didn't see me, as well as like just shouting things. And like I said, most of the time, although I did get some like homophobic abuse, don't know why I did that, because I did get some, but a lot of the time it was just people like asking me about it, but not like out of like curiosity, because they wanted to make me feel uncomfortable, or they would go onto YouTube on their phones, and they would get it up and they would like pretend to like watch it in class, and like I just wanted to die. It was so horrific. One of the things that stands out the most to me is I was sitting in a class one day, and the tables, I was in like some of the middle tables, and it was like tables like three people, and then behind them three people, behind them three people, whatever. So I was at the very front. I was on this side, and then I sat next to just one person, and she was one of the, I guess, sort of popular girls, and we never really got on, but we didn't have any like beef or anything. Like, we just like ignored each other, like whatever. But I was turned around talking to the person behind me, waiting for class to start, and all of a sudden, like, she calls over the teacher, and like I said, I wasn't paying attention. I was talking to someone else, and then I just heard her say, "Oh, hey, can I move seats because Lindsay's a lesbian?" And I was talking to someone, and I just I completely froze. I was so stunned at what I had just heard. Like, the fact that she told the teacher, the fact that she found the fact that I wasn't straight, like, a reason to move seats. Like, I was gonna like touch her up under the table or something. And so that sort of like naive straight girl mentality that, oh, every like lesbian is gonna want to touch me, like I'm so hot, like they all want me. Clearly not true. But the thing that hit me even harder than that was that the teacher, her response was, "Oh yeah, on you go, go sit up there." So this girl asked to get moved seats away from me because I was gay, and this teacher permitted her to do so. That left me, that night I went home and I just cried and cried, and I was in a really bad place because I already felt so horrible and so low. But the fact that the teachers I knew then, like, I didn't have any support from the teachers really, and it left me feeling like people genuinely think that I have some sort of disease, that I'm contagious, that I'm gonna like hit on everyone and like feel people up. Like, I couldn't believe that she'd asked to get moved. She was a bitch anyway, but I couldn't believe she did that, and the fact that, you know, she was allowed to. So that is one of the sort of like the things that really stand out to me when I think of like my life as a queer person in general, that hit me really hard, and it was probably one of the most horrible things that had happened after being outed. And so really with this, I just want to say to all of those young queers who are at school and you get outed, or even if you come out, people are going to be shit to you. I wish they weren't, but they are. That's probably the reality for most of us. But please just know that you can get through it, because I never thought that I could. I thought that it was going to go on forever, and I mean, for me, like, it did. It went on for a couple of years, and those were the worst 2 years probably of my life. But I got through it, and I am here now, and there's so many times where I came so close to doing things that I couldn't undo. Always know that there's a way to get through it, and you have amazing people around you who care. You may have to seek them out, but there will always be people here. I am always here if anyone needs to talk, or if anyone needs advice. Like I said, if it's this situation, I have been there, and I thought it was never ending, but it did end. And then I had a great last year at school. Everyone had finally forgotten about it, and people actually liked me and thought I was pretty fun. So yeah, you can get through it. I am maybe not the perfect example of it, but I managed to do it, and I didn't think I would, so yeah. The next video for Coming Out Chronicles will be in 2 weeks' time. I have a list of many coming out stories that are going to be featured in the series, but if you have any specific things that you wonder if they've happened to me, or want me to speak about, then just let me know in the comments below, and I will for sure do it. But I'm going to go now, and this has been the first part of the Coming Out Chronicles. P.S. Something I forgot about. If there's any Alt Shadow readers, I have tried to say readers so many times, and every time I say riddles. If there's any Alt Shadow readers, or any fans of Words with Girls, then I interviewed Brittany and Lauren from Words with Girls / Alt Shadow for TYCI, and I'll pop the link below if you want to read it. And if you don't know what Words with Girls is, it's a really great fucking hilarious web series, and I'll also put the link below, and you should go and check them out if you haven't already.